Welcome back to another flipping and money making live stream. Oh man, I'm excited today because it has been a week since we've done a stream. I took a slight break just to give myself a little bit of a rest, and I actually went ahead and did some skiing, which was a lot of fun, and it's not something I typically get to do, so I was very happy to do that. But anyway, guys, enough of that. We are back with the flipping live streams. Hopefully you guys haven't been too lonely and been missing the streams too much, and it's good to see everybody in the chat today. By the way, we have Jason Mills, STW Benny, Han as well. Good to see you guys. We also have Zardon, Zane, Sora, Lewinteg, and Tristan. Good to see everybody today. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these live streams. If you haven't seen any of the past live streams, we have every single live stream we've done up over on YouTube. You can find that in the Twitch panel on the bottom. If you're watching over on YouTube, just look at the channel. We've got all the past VODs. I think this is our like 215th stream or something like that. We have A saying, what's up? Good to see you, A. Chicken Dinner as well. He says, A, we're back. Let's get it. Good to see you, Chicken Dinner. Thank you. Anyway, Saints Fan in a van. He says, what up? Good to see you, Saints Fan. And Lewinteg as well. He says, I actually did miss these. Oh, well, at least I'm back now and ready to flip. Now, I'm the one who subs with the sub. Look at that, man. Thank you so much for the follow over on Twitch. We do appreciate it. Oh my goodness, my voice is like already tired. Okay, we gotta push past this, okay? Anyway, enough of that, guys. Let's get into the flipping here today. I want to make some money today, as I haven't done a lot of flipping since I've been away from the computer. If I'm not streaming, I'm not playing RuneScape, okay? The two go hand in hand for me. So, the first item we're gonna do today is the Dragon Claws. Now, I want to rip the Dragon Claws off the top today, just to see how they're looking. It did look like they are going on really a price rebound, but anytime Dragon Claws get down to like 56 mil, if the trend starts to reverse on them, then it typically means we're going to see blue skies ahead, as Dragon Claws usually do not go under 56 mil. So seeing them come off the 56 mil bottom back up to almost 59 mil makes me want to go ahead and flip a few today, but the margin's not looking that great on it, so we're just going to trade a few and see if we can make a quick couple coins on it. Now, we'll do the Bandos Tacets as well, followed by the Bandos Chestplate. We're actually going to do the Chestplate first here today. And those are two really good medium volume flips that are quite easy to flip as well, that you can just get in and out no problem and make a little bit of extra GP on. So really bad margin on the chest plates today. I don't think I've ever seen a margin that bad on the chest plates, looking at about a 2k profit if we were to flip those chest plates. So we're not going to do that, obviously. We're going to go ahead and get these Tacets going as well. We'll see what kind of money we can make on those, and we'll get a couple of these listed. We have tons of people flooding into the live chat right now. They're excited I'm back. I get it. And AO for show with the follow over on Twitch. Thank you so much, man. Do appreciate it. And we also had Jordy saying, also, I posted the Twitch link for you. Jordy, man. Thank you. I keep forgetting about the Twitch link, and it's good to see you, Jordy, man. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully you're doing great, man. I haven't chatted with you in a while, so I'm hoping you're doing well. Anyway, let me go ahead and get these Tacets listed here. I want to make sure we've got a bunch of flips listed off the rip here today, and that way we can just kind of let them sit, and I can catch up with you guys, because, man, do we have a lot to talk about today. It's been a week since I've done a stream, so hopefully you guys are enjoying it so far. Definitely drop a like if you are, and let's make some money today, guys. Miss Tizinga says, hey, haven't been here in a while. Did you change your name? I'm having a great evening, man. Mies, man, good to see you. I did change my name from to Scapenomics. We'll put it that way. So hopefully you enjoyed the new name. Let me know if you like it. A little bit of a rebrand. We changed that a couple months back at this point. I think in October was originally when we changed the name. So hopefully you do like the new name. Hopefully it didn't confuse you and you're like, who is this random guy I'm subscribed to? But yes, we did do a name change. Is the stream blurry, or is it only me? Is the stream blurry, guys? You gotta let me know if it is. I'll try to get that fixed up if that is the case. But it shouldn't be blurry. It doesn't look blurry on my end, so if it is, please let me know. We'll get it fixed up for you guys. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and list these Amulets of Torture here. They're not looking like a great margin, but they're definitely going to be good enough for us to flip today. And they are buying extremely quick, which makes me a little bit nervous that maybe the margin we're looking at is actually not that legit. But we're going to go ahead and try to flip it anyway, because I like to live on the dangerous side. Now we're going to do the Dragon Hunter Crossbow as well. Probably going to follow that up with the Lance too, as long as the Dragon Hunter Crossbow margin is good. I do expect that we'll have a bigger margin on the Crossbow and the Lance today. I'm just kind of taking a guess. I don't know if that actually is the case, but it does look like we're going to get a decent margin on it, so we're going to go ahead and list a couple of the Dragon Hunter Crossbows here, about 4 of them, and that's like the minimum I would flip them for at this point. We're looking at like a little bit less than 100k per every Dragon Hunter Crossbow that we do flip, excuse me, so that would be like the minimum I'd flip them for. If they're sitting any less than that, you're kind of putting up a lot of capital for not a lot of gain, and a lot of our stuff is buying very quickly, so we just need to keep that in mind. It looks a little bit odd, and usually that does not happen on the Grand Exchange, especially with some of these lower volume items. So I'm a little, the Dragon Hunter Crossbow is not necessarily a low volume item, but it is lower volume than probably most of the other stuff we are flipping. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get these. Oh my, what the heck? Okay, we've got a absolute massive margin on the Dragon Hunter Lance right now. We're gonna try to get that flipped as quickly as we can. We're gonna try to make a quick profit on that, because I do not think that is lasting. Now, I do want to go ahead and list the Justiciar armor sets as well. And thank you guys for the 11 likes, by the way, over on YouTube. Seems like you guys are excited that I am back, and I'm definitely happy to be back. I mean, it's one thing when, you know, I'm doing something and I can't stream. Like, you know, I love streaming for you guys. It just, you know, it's like an aspect of my life is missing when I don't have these streams. So, you know, I love doing this. It's like a huge passion of mine. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. We also have these Justiciar armor sets. We went ahead and listed them. Again, not a great profit on them right now. We're looking at like a 44k margin on them, which is really, really bad for Justiciar. So I don't know how long I'm going to let that sit. That being said, I do want to get some flips going today. So we're probably going to flip everything we come across. As long as it's like decent, then I'll go ahead and flip it today, honestly. And we're going to go do the Amulets of Torture as well, guys. And I forgot to list the Anguishes. That should be a sin for me, honestly. Deduct 1 point off my flipping skills for that one. But we're going to go ahead and flip the Anguishes as well. And then maybe we'll go ahead and check the Sanguesti Staff as well. See if we can get a decent margin on that. Hopefully we can trade a few for a quick buck here. Although the Sanguesti Staff is not our favorite item. We've definitely had some head-on collisions in the past. And we've definitely flipped into some bad situations on those Sanguesti Staffs. No doubt about that. Anyway, there's so many comments coming in. I'm going to get to them all in a minute, I promise you guys. But welcome to the live stream. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I do want to go ahead and flip the Sanguesti Staffs first. Once we get a good margin on this thing, if we get a good margin, that is, we're going to go ahead and trade a couple of them. And then we'll definitely get into all of your live chat questions. By the way, guys, if you do have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack or anything related to flipping in old school RuneScape, I'm your man. I'll help you out. Just let me know how much money you're flipping with and what you're struggling with, because honestly, these live streams are all about teaching you guys how to flip and make money in old school RuneScape. That's the reason they started, and that's the reason they will always continue. And yeah, if you need help, then let me know. I'd love to coach you through specific situations. Maybe you don't know what to flip, or maybe there's a specific aspect of flipping that you're struggling with. Maybe you can't do overnights. Maybe you want to get more into passive flipping, whatever it is. Now, we're down about 800 and, oh my god, 400 and, geez, my god, 744k on the session, now 651k due to margin checks. Our hourly profit is looking quite low, as you can see. Oh yeah, you can see it down here. But that's just because of the margin checks. So that'll bounce back in no time, guys. But thank you for tuning in today. Do appreciate it. Drop a like if you are enjoying, and let's get into it. Flacco the Gifted saying, you're the OG grand flipping father. Good to see you, Flacco, man. Thank you for tuning in. We have Trio O as well. He says, I'm here now, but watching you on YouTube since I can stream to my Roku. Dude, that is insane. Thank you, man. I'm on the big screen, so I guess we've really made it real time. Hopefully the picture quality looks good, and I'm not looking a little too ugly on there, if you catch my drift. Now, we also have Misi saying that shows how long I haven't catched a stream. Name is great, man. Thank you, Mies, dude. Appreciate it so much. And welcome back, man. I'm glad you're back, and thanks for joining us here today. And hopefully it's the same classic experience that you remember, man. Lance flips are so fast. I love that thing. Dude, so the thing with the Lance is, like, it's really like sometimes, like I have like 1 to 2 week spans where the lance is really good to flip, and then I have like 4 to 6 week spans where I can never get a good margin on it. It is one of the funkier items to flip, but it is a relatively high demand item. I mean, it's not necessarily a high volume item, but a lot of these, like I feel like there's a lot of demand for it, right? Like people maybe buy one to go do a Slayer task, or there's just like some like need behind it that drives it. I don't know what it is, but it always is easy to sell off, in my opinion. Yo, Def, Jay, man, it's good to see you, Jay. Thank you for tuning in. We have Kosif TV says, where you been, brother? I was taking a little bit of a vacation. I had some Valentine's Day plans that I went through with, and I did a little bit of skiing, so that was a lot of fun. And I'm not like a great skier, but I'm good enough to like do most of the stuff on the mountain. So, you know, I don't get to go skiing a lot since I live in a pretty big city, and it was just fun to like go do something else for a little bit. And of course, I missed streaming. Of course, I always do. But anyway, let's go ahead and do another item here. We do have a lot of GP freed up here. I'm trying to think of like what we can do. And it's funny because every time like I stop streaming for a while and I come back to it, I'm always like a little bit rusty getting back into it as far as like what to flip or even putting commentary on these live streams. So I'm probably, you know, working out the kinks right now and trying to get through everything here. But yeah, if I'm failing, then just definitely flame me in the live chat, because that is what it is for. So anyway, we've got a ton of flips listed here. We're actually going to cut back on these Justiciar armor sets because, again, the margin on these was not that great. I do want to try and get a big flip in here somewhat soon, right? Once we clear up another slot and we have the capital on hand, I do want to go and try to flip maybe a twisted bow. I do like flipping the twisted bow on stream as I find it a little bit more consistent than the scythe, but the scythe will tend to give you a better margins for a cheaper cost. But I tend to find that the twisted bow flips a little bit faster. Mies says, it's still lovely, man. Very relaxed stream. Great vibes. Mies, I'm glad you're enjoying it, and I'm glad it's the same experience. That's kind of what I strive for. We also have Boris King 7. Oh, good to see you, man. He says, what sort of margin should I expect flipping sides? If you're flipping the scythe, we got some cash back on that Dragon Hunter crossbow. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, if you are flipping the scythe, I would not settle for anything less than like a 700k margin. I mean, even flipping it for 700k is quite low. Honestly, almost all the time you're going to be able to get 800 and 900k on it, and you should strive to get a mil for every scythe flip. It's not easy at first. I mean, when you're flipping that thing at first, like, you're probably going to be a little bit worried about like, hey, this thing's kind of taking a while to trade. Is it going to swing in my favor? Here's the thing. You can flip the scythe on margin if you'd like, but if you list a little bit higher or even buy in for a little bit lower than where the current margin is, usually those offers are going to fill for you, and you can actually stretch out that profit just a little bit. Keep in mind that not that many sides are traded per day. I mean, yes, there's a lot traded because it's a very high demand item, it's very sought out, but compared to something like, you know, the Amulet of Torture, it's not anywhere near that, right? So there's a lot less competition when it comes to flipping the scythe, and it might seem like there is a lot of competition because you can't get a good margin on it, but that's just because a lot are traded. As far as flipping goes, though, you can list a little bit higher and it will tend to swing in your favor most of the time. So I would say aim for about 800k to a mil for every scythe flip that you do. We also have Mark Baker saying snowboarding in the Rockies soon. I wish, Mark, man. I wish I was there for that, dude. But that sounds lovely, dude. And thanks for tuning in, Mark. Good to see you, man. We also have Wild Muffin popping in as well. He says, what's up, Scape? Good to see you, Wild Muffin. We also have Mac Daxel saying, long time no see, mate. Good to see you streaming. Mac Daxel, welcome to the live stream, man. Good to see you. We also have 3K Skills saying, nice to see you back, and thanks for keeping me entertained while rune crafting. Dude, oh my. I can't even get myself to go rune crafting. I can't. I literally cannot do it. If I do it, I have to pay for like runners because you guys know how it is with me when it comes to skilling. Okay, it's just not my cup of tea. All right. We have Jay Hepner saying, I'm good, man. How are you? Been busy with school/work lately, so I didn't notice you took a small break. How could you, Jay? You not tune into my streams for a week? Feels bad, man. Just kidding, of course. But I'm glad you're staying busy. Hopefully, just life in general is going well. And we just broke a little bit of a profit on the session. 63K on the session. Paid for a lot of our margin checks so far. And what are we at right now? About 14 minutes in. Guys, it's looking pretty good for a banging session today. So we're going to go ahead and list these what are these? The Carol's leather tops back to the exchange here. And we'll try to sell a few of these off for a decent price. Is the music playing? Like, okay, yeah, it is. Okay. I was like, I couldn't see it in the bottom right. But anyway. We have 496 mil on hand. A little bit torn on what to do here because I do want to, like I said before, go ahead and flip a twisted bow. But if that's not going to happen, I guess we'll try to flip the scythe for now. You know, I thought about, before starting the stream today, maybe we could do some Inquisitor today, just to, like change it up a little bit. But I kind of feel like the Inquisitor is going to be a little bit less consistent today, as I think there was like a big bot ban at Nightmare Zone, and that's kind of making the prices on the Inquisitor do a lot of wonky things. So I think we could spend a lot of time trying to hunt the margin on the Inquisitor, and I don't really want to do that, even though it's probably very profitable. Now, I'm going to try to get a Scythe Flip going here. It looks like the range where the Scythe is being traded is very wide, so I don't know if we're going to get a really good price on this using the GE tracker information. That being said, it does look like it's traded sideways a little bit here, and we might be able to pick one up for a little bit of a cheap price here. We'll have to see. Okay, it didn't instant buy, so that is a good sign, but hopefully we're not listed too low as well. 3K Skill says, I'm only doing 3 levels for my last quest, and it feels like a bad grind already. Oh, I feel free, man. I really do. I mean, I'm so bad at just skilling in general. Like, I get bored immediately, and people might be like, how do you get bored of skilling when all you do is trade items back and forth? Literally, I could not tell you why. But it's just, hey, I love trading on the Grand Exchange. It's my favorite thing to do. You guys know that, though. I'm always doing these flipping live streams for you guys, and it's just my favorite thing to do in game. And I like it because it's like a niche activity, right? Like, not a lot of people focus all the time on flipping, and it kind of makes me feel like I'm a master of my craft, even though I have a lot to learn, trust me. Anyway, we do have these Sanguesti stabs, which did come in. We're looking at a pretty good margin on the Sanguestis. Nothing crazy, but we're trying to clear about 200k on all 4 of these, which could be an 800k total profit, which would be obviously the most optimal scenario on that. Not sure if that's going to land, but we're definitely going to go for it. Now, I am going to cycle into the Twisted Bow now that we have the capital to do so, although we do have to cancel the Scythe offer, so we're not trying super hard to actually go ahead and hunt a Scythe here, but I will try and get a Twisted Bow going. I like the Twisted Bow compared to the Scythe because I find the Twisted Bow is a little bit more high volume, and it's like a little bit safer of a flip. You know, with the Scythe, you can get crazy fluctuations, and you can kind of get burned on a Scythe, especially over a longer time frame, but the Twisted Bow doesn't feel as brutal. It's a little more noob-friendly. It's a little bit safer of a profit, and as you guys know, I'm actually a pretty risk-adverse flipper. I don't like to take a lot of risk. I try to take very consistent and safe profits, and we got a Twisted Bow very quickly, which is not a great sign. So we're going to go ahead and we'll try to sell this for probably a slight, very, very slight profit. And if we can't sell it, then that's going to really suck. But regardless, though, we're going to go ahead and list this like 40k above where we bought it. Just try to get it off. And because now that we bought this one, we do know where the margin is probably trading around. If we can sell this thing, I do expect that maybe the Twisted Bow is trading for a mil less, maybe a little bit less than that, maybe like 800k less. We'll try to recycle in at the lower price and try to get a few traded. Anyway, Kosif TV says, I would avoid flipping Inquisitor today. It is all over the place. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I looked at the prices on GE Tracker earlier, and I was like, I can't really get a good read on this thing. I'm just going to stay away from it. Anyway, we did get those lances off. I do want to cycle back in on the lance at maybe a little bit higher of a price, considering we only filled 2 of them, and we still can flip 5, and the margin on them is looking fantastic right now. We're almost at a mil already in the session, 17 minutes, 30 seconds in. Welcome, everybody, to the stream today. Hopefully, you are doing well, and if you are enjoying the live stream, please drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel, and on top of it all, I've got a new series coming to the channel very, very soon, and I think you guys are going to love it. I think it's going to be the biggest series on my channel. I'm hoping for really good viewership, but we'll see what happens, and I think it's going to be very unique and very fun, and let me tell you, it's going to be a journey of a series, okay? This series is likely going to span over multiple years, so we're going to see what happens, man. Love the party hat. Is there a story behind it? Says Mac Daxel. So there's not really a story behind the party hat, I would say. One day, I just like made a party hat and I was like, maybe I should like I just have one, right? So I made one to like put it on my desk as like just a fun like RuneScape trinket, whatever. Because I love RuneScape. I mean, it's a great game. I've been playing it for so many years. And yeah, it was like, maybe I just, one stream, I was like, let me just wear this thing. So I put it on and people loved it. I mean, that was really it. And ever since, we've been wearing the party hat and the suit on every single live stream. So I think there's maybe one or two in there where I didn't dress up, but it is quite rare to see me not dressed up, okay? Because I am dedicated to the cause. And look, you're not going to go bank stand at the GE in a t-shirt and shorts, right? You got to get official, okay? Regardless, though, guys, we do have 136 million GP left that we do need to work with here. So let's go ahead and get a couple more flips listed here. I do want to do the Dragon Darts. The Dragon Darts are a very high volume flip, although, again, these are more of an inconsistent item. These Dragon Darts can take massive fluctuations, and I think it's because people actually make Dragon Darts for fletching profit, as it's the fastest, or not fletching profit, fletching XP, because it's one of the fastest XP methods, which is why I think the Dragon Darts take massive price fluctuations at times, and with all the update stuff on the horizon as well, it's not helping the situation at all, right? Could be a profitable situation on those today, though, looking at about a 15 GP margin on the Dragon Darts if it does land. We also have 100 mil left in the stack. I'm thinking maybe we go ahead and try to flip something a little bit easier there, and this is going to leave us with some leftover cash, but for some reason, I just have a feeling that we need to flip Prayer Potions today, okay? Prayer Potions are a great flip, especially for lower cash stacks. If you're working with like a 25 mil plus cash stack, put Prayer Potions on your list. I find them to be a really great flip most of the time, and I'd highly recommend doing them. Other flips that you can do with a 25 mil cash stack as well: Prayer Potions, Ceridome and Brews, Super Combat Potions, all in the potion family, and all really great flips. You could also do the Blighted Super Restores as well, but they're not going to be as consistent, but they will give you a little bit more profit. Hope you can buy me a Tebow this year for Christmas, says EtzioTV. Good to see you, EtzioTV, man. How are you? I am Sebaloco as well. I missed your comment. He says, how's it going? It's going well, man. Thank you so much. We also have Saints fan in Van saying, I haven't been flipping much the last few days, focused more on skilling, but now that you're back, maybe that'll motivate me to get back to flipping. Listen, guys, I don't think anyone out there enjoys flipping as much as I do. For sure, 100%, do not let flipping ruin your in-game RuneScape experience. I mean, if you're flipping and you're not enjoying the actual content of the game, then maybe you want to cycle away from flipping just a little bit and try to make some gains. And the most important thing about playing RuneScape is to enjoy what you're doing, okay? I only stream flipping and flip all the time because I love doing it, and if you're not loving it and it's burning you out, then definitely move on to another in-game activity. While flipping is a great moneymaker, it's going to be there whenever you need it. If you need to just flip for a few hours, get your GP up, you know what I mean? But definitely don't burn out flipping at the Grand Exchange, because the worst thing you could do, and the worst thing, and just the worst outcome would be you leaving RuneScape overall. So don't prioritize flipping if it is not your #1 favorite thing to do in old school RuneScape. Definitely going to comment on the new vids for the algorithm. Thank you, Jay, man. Do appreciate it. And it would definitely help out. So if you do enjoy the new series, then drop a like. I don't know when the first episode is going to be out for the new series, but I think it's going to be like one series that I try to keep consistent with every week or every other week. It depends on how many flipping guides I want to make in between, to be quite honest. Flipping will ruin your normal gaming experience, says Buoyant Tofu. I don't know if it really ruins it, but it ruined the normal game for me, right? Because now all I do is flip, right? But anyway, good to see you, Buoyant Tofu, man. Thanks for tuning in. Mac Daxel says, hey, good story, though, and yes, keep up the good outfit for the stream. Oh, it's going nowhere, okay? And we also have Sora saying the suit is good luck. Absolutely. I mean, I've worn the same suit every single live stream. So yes, it's been washed, okay? Before I get any comments, yes, it's been washed. Mike LaPanda says, yo, what new series are you making? Just popped in. Mike, you're going to have to wait and see, man. But it is going to be a really interesting one. And I really think you guys are going to like it. So it's not going to be necessarily a surprise, but because I have mentioned it in the past few streams. But if you don't know, then I'm going to surprise you with it, okay? I'm level 3 in RuneScape, only do flips, says I am Sebaloco. You're just like me, man. You're just like me. Although I have actual stats because, I don't know, I used to like the game and then I got introduced to flipping and here I am. But regardless, I do like RuneScape, but I definitely love flipping more than anything in RuneScape. We'll put it that way. And I never go bossing anymore. I guess that's a problem. Oh, I actually cannot buy another Carol's Leather Top. My thought process behind that last Carol's Leather Top was to buy another one to see where it's actually trading around because we haven't been able to sell any of these off yet. We've been sitting on them for about 9 minutes, which is a little bit longer than I would typically like. So we are going to give it a little bit of a margin knock in the downward direction, which is going to secure us less profit per Carol's Leather Top, but is going to make sure that we can actually sell them at a decent pace and get them off for a profit. Now, we do have 161 million GP left in the stack. I would like to put this into another item. I think we're going to do the Blighted Super Restores next. I thought about maybe doing the Grimy Renar Weed, but we'll maybe do that later. Anyway, we did get that off. Let's see the margin on the Blighted. It's actually really good. We're going to go in and flip a full limit of that, which is 2,000 every 4 hours. We're going to list that, let it do its thing here, and see if we can make any money on that one today. Now, we do have the Twisted Bow, which I actually relisted this thing for about 100k less than what we bought it for. Hoping to get it off before it crashes too much in price. We should be able to. I don't see a reason we wouldn't be able to. I would like to cycle back in for the Twisted Bow, maybe like a mil to 1.2 mil lower, as it does look like maybe it's moving in a downward direction. We'll have to see. STW Benny says, no, I missed the start. That's okay, Benny, man. You made it to the stream. Welcome to the live stream. Mike LaPanda says, I'd say the GE is the real boss we're trying to beat. I mean, the thing about the GE is it's basically, if you think about it, right? The Grand Exchange is sort of, not actually, but it's kind of an unlimited source of money. It's basically a boss you can kill 24/7 in old school RuneScape. And look, guys, I'm always slaying the Grand Exchange, okay? Evoked says, hey, been watching your vids recently. Enjoy the content. Evoked, man, thank you so much. I'm glad you decided to pop by in a live stream. How are you doing today? Hopefully you are enjoying the live stream experience. Definitely drop a like if you are. And Evoked, you might not know this, but we do stream a lot. So we stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Although we didn't stream last week for a couple of days, as I needed to take a little vacation. Whew. Give me 1 sec, guys. Just gotta run across my room for a second. Oh my goodness. We are back, don't you worry. And we did get the tacits off, which is great. I don't know what I really want to list next in that position, but I do want to try and see if we can get a good margin on the Primordial Boots. Now, haven't really been hunting any good margins on the Prims in quite some time, so it would be good to see maybe over a 50k margin on these tonight. We'll see if we can get it. And we're not going to get it. We're looking at like a 10k margin on them. Honestly, not even going to flip that. We do have 311 mil still to deploy. Let me think about what I want to do with that. I guess we could try the Pegasian boots as well. I don't have my hopes too high because typically when the Primordial boot margin is not good, the Pegasian boots are not that great as well. That's, you know, that's not always the case. It's just kind of an observation that I've had. And the Pegasians look a little bit better. You know, we're looking at like a 40k margin on those. We'll go ahead and flip maybe 4 of them at once. We'll see how the flip goes. If it's going well, we'll go back in and try to flip a couple of more. But guys, welcome to the live stream today. Hopefully you are enjoying it. Definitely drop a like if you are. It really does help me out a lot. And let's see what you guys have to say. Evoked says, I've been working from home due to New Zealand's small lockdown. Oh my god, a viewer from New Zealand? That's crazy, man. Been flipping on the side, trying to build the cash stack a bit. Well, welcome to the stream, Evoked. If you have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack or anything related to flipping in old school RuneScape, let me know, because I'd love to get those questions answered. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't believe it's already Wednesday, man. Like, I take a week off streaming, I come back, and it's like Wednesday, which means the drinking stream is going to be on Friday, of course. And this week's just going really fast, guys. Mike LaPanda says, is the Dragon Warhammer a good flip for a session or rather more of an overnight? Honestly, I find that I can never, for some reason, guess where that Dragon Warhammer will trade overnight. I actually struggle with that a lot with the Dragon Oh, there we go. With the Dragon Warhammer, I do like it more as a session flip. That being said, it is an item you can do overnight as well. I just find it hard to see, like, kind of predict where the price is going to trade for that item over a 24-hour period. So I do like the session flip on the Dragon Warhammers a bit better, personally. Floor Tile says, beer review Friday. Floor Tile, good to see you, man. I wish, dude. I mean, we just drink basic Miller Lite on Friday, but we do drink a lot of it sometimes, so you have to stick around for Friday to see. But I'm hoping maybe we can get the first episode of that new series out probably next week. I haven't done any recording for it yet, but I'm motivated to, and I know exactly what I want to do. I don't want to ruin it, okay? I don't want to ruin it, so you guys are just going to have to wait and see for that one. A says, what are some good overnight flips? If you want to do some overnight flips, honestly, anything you can do in a session can usually be flipped overnight for a decent profit. But that being said, how much GP are you working with, A? Because if you're working with like 100 mil, it's going to be a lot different than if you're flipping with 1 billion GP when it comes to overnights. So just let me know how much you're working with. Maybe I can give you a couple of items to try out so you can make some good profit. Lewintag says, I feel like I've asked this, but what is your experience with the harm orbs? I've only flipped them once. I flipped it for like a 10 mil profit, and I've never flipped it again. That's literally it. Someone was like, yo, the margin on the harm orb is really good. Go ahead and try it. I did. I flipped it, 10 mil profit, walked away from it, and never tried it again. Way too risky of an item, in my opinion. Evoke says, yeah, the flips have been going well. Working with a 90 mil cash stack, mixing between high volume and 1 to 10 mil gear. Super good strategy, Evoked. If I had to guess, you're probably flipping with around a 20 to 30 mil cash stack. If that is the case, you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Build that cash stack up. I'm telling you, once you build that like base cash stack up a little bit, you can just get so much profit from flipping without a lot of effort as well. So all my profit basically has come from flipping. I mean, we did have a stream recently where we celebrated hitting max cash from flipping. So that's been a really good feeling. No, I didn't start at 1 GP. I started at 9 mil, but we still got to the max cash. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome if you ask me. So if you're flipping with 100 mil and you're looking for overnight items, some great items you can try out are the Amulets crystal. I find those to be really good. Manta ray is really good as well because Manta ray tends to fluctuate a little bit more than other consumable items or food consumable items, right? Like sharks or monkfish. So try out the Manta rays. I find them to be quite good. Dragon arrows are a great overnight in my opinion. Let me think of some other ones. You could do grimy Renar weed, but it might be a little bit tight for your budget. Maybe would not recommend that. 10 out of 10. We think mahogany planks are good overnight. They tend to fluctuate a fair bit. I would stick, if you're flipping overnight with 100 mil, I would stick to high volume still. Green dragon leather is a great one. Black dragon leather as well. Those are two great options. Air orbs you could do overnight. Those are great. And that should be a decent list to get you started. Let's go ahead and see here. I don't quite have enough to effectively flip the 20 to 30 mil items. Oh, Evoked, I meant, what is your total cash stack, right? Like, how much GP do you have in your stack that you're working with? If I had to guess, you probably have 20 to 30 mil, but I could be wrong. Evoke says, I did get burnt price checking a dexterous 900k margin. Here's my pro tip. Never flip the dexterous, okay? It can be profitable, but if you get in on the dexterous on a downtrend, trust me, it's not a good time. I do flip them fairly often, but yeah, I guess I'm being a little bit hypocritical because I'm saying, like, don't flip them and then I flip them, but a lot of people get burned on those dexterous prayer scrolls, man, and I hate when it happens because there's no, like, if there's one item that I recommend people never flip, it's like, one of them is like the dexterous, like, literally. It's something I never recommend people flip. Again, though, I know I'm hypocritical on that one. I do want to go ahead and maybe try the Ceradomin. Actually, no, I want to do the Dragon Warhammer. I think Mike mentioned the Dragon Warhammer earlier. Like I said, I do like it more of a session flip when compared to an overnight flip. You know, if you wanted an overnight flip that is in a similar price range to the Dragon Warhammer and flips in a, oh god, horrible margin, that flips in like a similar-ish pattern, Ceridome and Godsword is a lot better. Ceridome and Godsword is a much better overnight because it fluctuates a lot more than the Dragon Warhammer typically will, and you can get a lot of profit on this thing as long as you have a little bit of patience on it. And let's see, wow. Trash margins here today, guys, on some of this stuff. I mean, we can't even get this twisted bow off. I mean, we're 11 minutes sitting in on this thing, still haven't gotten it off yet. Probably going to take a little bit of a loss on that, unfortunately. Hoping to make it back up. If we can sell this, it would be a really good situation for us. We'll let that sit for a little bit longer. We also got the Dragon Darts as well, so we're going to go ahead and buy another Dragon Dart here. That way we can see where they're selling at this moment in time. And they're still selling at our previous margin checks, so we are good on that. We're going to go ahead and list those for their sell price, and we'll let them do their thing. Also, I need to get that second account up and operating as well. I said I was going to do that. 90 mil, I said in the first message. Sorry, Evoked, man. Things go in and out of my brain. I forget things. But thanks for letting me know. Do appreciate that. Boris King says, any tips on overnights with a 1 bill cash stack? Ooh, he says, my items either don't buy or they buy because the item crashed overnight. Well, the market is a little bit funky right now compared to how it usually is. That being said, if you are flipping overnight with a bill cash stack, in this market, it's a little bit tough because there's been a lot of items that have just looked like they might be dipping and they just continue to downtrend. The Sanguesti being one of those items, the Grazi as well, very tough situations on those. But if you are flipping overnight with a 1 bill cash stack, kind of like I mentioned before, Ceridome and Godsword, great overnight flip with a 1 bill cash stack for sure. But my recommendation is flip expensive items with high limits. Amulet of Torture, Necklace of Anguish, I like flipping those overnight because they typically don't fluctuate that crazy. You can get them for like 100k discount compared to their active price overnight usually, at least, maybe 150k if you're lucky. Ceridome and Godswords can fluctuate like almost 750k overnight, sometimes a mil, so you can really make a lot of profit on those if it does go your way. Although they're a little bit more inconsistent, they're not as easy to predict. Dragon Darts, Grimy Renarweed, 2 really good high volume overnights for 1 bill cash stack as well. Pegasian Boots, Primordial Boots are really good because they have that high buy limit, that 15 buy limit. You probably don't need to do Carol's leather tops or Aram stuff anymore. You do have that 1 bill stack, but I would try to aim for those like lower volume PVM items with a 1 bill stack, honestly, because that's where you're going to be really making a lot of profit. Although I would play very carefully, and the best way to do that is to flip a low quantity of a bunch of them, right? So maybe like you flip some Justiciar, some Sanguesti stuff, some Grazi, some Grazis, some Ceridome and Godsword, some Dragon Claws, some Dragon Warhammers. Just spread that cash stack out a bunch, all of the items, and that way if something doesn't buy and one thing does, or you lose profit on something, then you're still making money on some of your flips, and hopefully that'll cover you compared to your losses. So that's the way I would handle it. Hopefully that does help you out, Boris, and hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. I made it back flipping them, says Evoked. I just got unlucky. The Dexterous was at 15 mil. Wow. Well underneath the other sell offers. Just unlucky, I guess. That does happen sometimes, yes. Evoked says also that, do you ever try for set combinations, or do you see an uptrend? Do you buy and hold? Recently, I've been trying to get more into like buying items and holding them as investments, just because I am over max cash now, which is... I should probably start to like branch out and try to investigate that stuff a little bit more. That being said, as far as combining armor sets go, it is a great way to make money, but I don't do it personally because, I don't know, it's not really worth it for me. Weird flex, but okay. It's just not really worth me breaking down an armor set or trying to figure out the prices for things. Unless it's maybe something like Inquisitor, then maybe I'd give it a look, but for the most part, I don't really try it. Mike LaPanda says, whips are a great one as well. I've been doing those every time I flip, and they haven't disappointed yet. the whips are good because they're very consistent and they're a really great passive flip, right? Like something that you can set on the Grand Exchange and just kind of leave, not really have to pay attention to that much. And on top of that as well, like if you're someone who likes to do a lot of other stuff in game, then that's honestly a great flip for you to do, like whips, grimy Renard weed, because they're very consistent items that just take a long time to buy full quantities of, which obviously is a preferable thing if you are doing other stuff in game. Honestly, I don't know why I haven't made a video on passive flipping yet, because I think that would benefit a lot of people who, you know, maybe they're not super into flipping, but they like flipping on the side, and they put flips in when they go play RuneScape, they put flips in when they log off. It would benefit like those players a little bit more. Anyway, I do want to get in on some of this ancestral stuff with our 298 mil cash stack that we do have on hand. We could take a little of a loss here on the margin check. We'll have to see. And it looks like we will pay at least 100k for that margin check. So we're going to go ahead and use our new listings here to try to make a little bit of profit off that. And we'll try to make that money back, no problem. I always pay margin checks. I think it's the best way to get a margin on an item, unless it's something like the Twisted Bow where it's really expensive and you really don't want to mess up the buying and sell, or you don't want to buy and sell because it's going to cost you a lot of money that you might not necessarily make up in the long run. Oh my god, my commentary is falling apart, but guys, hopefully you are doing well. Definitely drop a like if you are enjoying, and let's make some money today. We're at 1.8 mil, about 39 minutes in, looking a little bit on the short side, and I really think it's because of this Twisted Bow. We really haven't been able to pull through on this Twisted Bow here today. We actually bought in at, it seems like a really bad time, considering that I have this thing listed about 300k less than where we bought it, and we're still struggling to sell it. So very bad situation on the Twisted Bow right now. It's actually looking like this almost never happens as far as the Twisted Bow goes, so it's really not looking good. But hey, sometimes that happens. The Grand Exchange is an inconsistent moneymaker, and we'll get through the tough times. We're probably down about 500k on this total, if I had to guess. I just want to wait it out and see if we can actually get it off and lose a little bit less money. Now, we do have the Carol's leather tops here. I want to go and knock these down even further in price. Not something that I thought we'd have to do, but we still haven't sold any off, and we have 14 of them, which is quite a high holding for the Carol's leather tops. Definitely don't want to hold that through a downtrend, considering that the Carol's leather top price seems still pretty pumped up right now, considering all of the new equipment balancing rechanges they want to put in. Rebalancing changes, rechanges. Oh my god. I'm falling apart at the seams. I'm telling you, every time I take a little break from streaming and I come back, the commentary is rough around the edges, guys. But we are doing our best to get through it today, okay? Anyway, Mike LaPanda says, come on, guys, 37 people, only 17 likes. I know we can do better than that. Thank you, Mike, man. Thank you for promoting the stream up a little bit. I do appreciate it, man. Boy and Tofu says, wait, weren't the Dexterous Prayer Scrolls 25 million 3 months ago? Here's the thing, with the Dexterous Prayer Scroll, it is a very interesting item, right? Because the thing with it is, once you buy the Dexterous Prayer Scroll for an account, you never have to buy it again. You permanently have this prayer unlocked. And over time, more people will get that unlocked on their account, and there will be just less pent-up demand for the Dexterous Prayer Scroll, which means it will just continue to trade lower and lower and lower in price, as people don't really need it as much. And I've been saying this for like so many years, guys, and not like it's a hard insight to see, but like since, you know, the Dexterous was at like 90 mil, I was like, yo, this thing's gonna keep coming down, guys. Like, I would not invest in these ever. I would never buy these, because it's a lot more likely that they will continue to downtrend to around the same price as the Arcane Prayer Scroll. So I would just be very careful about that. It's probably gonna retain a little bit more value than the Arcane Prayer Scroll, just because it's a little bit more useful, but still, though, I've never been a fan of the Dexterous, I'll tell you that. Let's see, Blinking316 says, with something like a Twisted Bow, how do you know when to buy for yourself, coming from a perspective as a flipper? I tend to check graphs / price every day and see the ups and downs, and I get worried. Blinking, that's a great question. When you say buy for yourself, I'm assuming you mean for like PVM, right? Hopefully you're still in here, Blinking. Are you like buying it for PVM and stuff like that? If that's the case, the way I'd look at it would be a little bit different, but it depends. You should flip Wizard Boots. Not really a good flip for me, honestly. Yeah, like I said earlier, they are dropping out of my 8. I lost money on 2 of them, but still profited in total. Oh, I better be a little bit scared then. Blinking says, Dragon Man, good to see you. Yes, of course I remember you. Dragon, welcome back, man. Thank you for tuning in today. We also have A saying, is the Ring of Suffering a good item to flip? In my opinion, it is a good item to flip. I don't think it's as good as the Amulet of Torture and the Necklace of Anguish. If the Amulet of Torture and the Necklace of Anguish are A-ranked flips, the Ring of Suffering is maybe like a B-. Good margins, but inconsistent. Very inconsistent. Kosif TV says, ever considered giving RuneScape 3 flipping a try? I have. I've just never really gotten around to it or tried it. It does look fun though, and what I've heard about RuneScape 3 is the margins are a lot better, but the trades are a lot slower, which is, that would be my preference, but the thing that's really stopped me from, trying out RuneScape 3 flipping, right, is I don't know what to flip. Like, I don't know the items in that game. Like, what is the Twisted Bow of RuneScape 3? Or what is the Carol's Leather Top of RuneScape 3? What is the Pegasian Boot of RuneScape 3? I don't know these things. Like, and I don't know their use in game, which, as a flipper, you really want to have good understanding of what every item is used for, because that's just going to help you rotate into items or potentially find good investment opportunities as well down the line. And if I don't know what the item is used for, I don't really feel that comfortable flipping it in a lot of situations. But anyway, Blinking has waited long enough for his answer, guys, so let's go ahead and get to it. He says, correct, like buy items for your own use that are expensive. So, I talk about this every once in a while. Now, sometimes what happens, and I'm sure you've seen some of this, and here's a great example that we're flipping right now as well. Sanguesti staff, okay, currently trading for sub 90 mil, okay? So if you look at the price chart and you look at things and you're like, and you'll go ahead and you'll see right now, if you were to look at the Sanguesti chart, is that the Sanguesti is relatively cheap for where it is, where it trades around most of the time, right? Usually the Sanguesti is like 100 mil plus. It's been like 130 mil in the past year. And right now it's trading for 88 mil, or not 88 mil, but it's a little bit cheaper than 88 mil. And the thing with the Sanguesti is, it's had high prices in the past, right? So what I'm saying is, when you look at buying an item for actual use in-game, you want to buy them when there's these quote-unquote fire sales. For example, Grazi. The Grazi right now, if you want to pick up a Grazi for long-term use, you're getting one for about 135 mil-ish, which compared to the past, that's pretty good. Yeah, and there's a lot of price fluctuations on, obviously, these bigger PVM items. The way you have to look at it is, am I getting a good deal? Sanguesti right now, I would say relatively, you're getting a good deal on the item. Obviously, things change if you need the item immediately for something, but the way I look at it is wait until the opportunities are good, and then you buy a bunch of what you need, right? So I would say right now, Sanguesti is great, the Grazi is great. Just buy things when they look relatively cheap, especially if you plan to hold them for 6 months plus. I mean, that's really it. That's all that I recommend people do is like, hey, if it looks cheap, buy one. If you need it for like a day or something like that, and you know in advance when you're going to need it, you can go ahead and list at the like the 24-hour low price for the item that you need, and just hoping that it buys out for that low price overnight, and then using that for as long as you want, really. There's really not a good way to manage it without being super active on your flips. Anyway, yeah, Lewintake says, I think it depends on how long you're going to use that item, to be honest. Yeah, it really depends. Like, it also depends, when do you need the item, right? Are you going to raids tomorrow and you need it tomorrow? The way you play that one is a lot different than, hey, I'm going to need this item for, like, the rest of my RuneScape career. Like, you know what I mean? So, it's a lot different. Hopefully my answer makes sense, though. I can't say I'm a professional money manager of RuneScape, but I'd like to say I do pretty well for myself. We're going to try and sell these Blighted Superstores off here. Twisted Bow really giving us a bad run here today. Probably going to have to hold that for a little bit longer. I do expect a bounce back on that Twisted Bow, but we're not getting it yet, I'll tell you that. The profit per hour right now is not looking that great because of the Twisted Bow, which is a little bit unfortunate. We'll try to get another one up and sold here in a minute. We do have 72 mil, though. I'm thinking, here's a good one. The Dragon Dart Tips. We're going to give these a run really quick. and we'll see if we can make a little bit of money on that today. Guys, if you are enjoying the live stream today, please leave a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel for you guys to enjoy, so hopefully you do enjoy it. And let's get back into the comments here. We have, do you flip in real life? If so, does OSRS flipping help? LOL. I mean, the only thing that RuneScape really helps with is trends. Like, you can see a trend in, you know, a stock, or in RuneScape an item, which I think is important to recognize, like, what a trend is and if something looks like a decent buy. But that's really it. It's very, like, high-level stuff. I mean, RuneScape flipping is just, you know, really arbitrage trading, especially even with active flipping. As far as, like, you know, overnight stuff goes, I mean, I guess it's somewhat related, but it's at a very high level scale compared to an actual market. Let's see. A dragon says, yeah, I'm flipping on 2 accounts, and 3 weeks later, I have 120 mil flipping from 10 mil. Congratulations, Dragon. Sorry I missed that originally, but dude, that's amazing, man. Hopefully my tips have helped you out, and I've given you a little bit of guidance when it comes to making some money on the Grand Exchange. And I'm glad it's worked out for you, man. And thanks for coming back and letting me know how you're doing, because that's like such a rewarding feeling for me, is like when I help people out and then they go off and they flip and they just like, they fly away from the nest. It's a great feeling. Blinking anyway with another comment here. He says, it's just that I just now made enough money to buy a twisted bow, and obviously looking at the past 6 months, it's super cheap, but basically all my cash, so seeing it go up and down 20 mil plus is scary. But I guess I have to see what it is as an investment slash asset and use that item to make more money, etc., and not freak out. Honestly, yes. But here, the main thing is, like, do you need the twisted bow for playing actual content in game? Like, do you really, like, are you going to Inferno and you need a twisted bow, like, 100% to actually do the content? Because those are important considerations, right? For most people, they don't want their money to limit them from enjoying the game. So just keep that in mind. Like, if some kind of content you want to do, like right now, it's probably worth buying the twisted bow, even if you lose like a couple mil in the short term on it. That being said, the lowest price the twisted bow is like really ever gone is like 950 mil. Maybe, like, I don't think it's gone any lower than that in the past. So I mean, yeah, like if you know, you're okay maybe holding on to an item that's like gone down 200 mil in value and not necessarily selling, then you'd probably be all right. But keep in mind how niche the twisted bow is. I mean, there's not going to be anything like the twisted bow that comes into game anytime soon, so I wouldn't be too worried about losing the capital on that. But yeah, it's not an easy situation, man. It's one of the hardest ones to actually navigate through. Dragon says, thanks, oh, hold on, I missed it. Thanks to your Discord and videos, I've achieved success. Dragon, man, I'm so happy to hear it. And by the way, guys, if you're not with us in our Discord group, we have a Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape. I highly recommend you join it. I know a lot of people in the live chat can vouch for it. We have such a good turnout in that Discord group, and it's insane. The community we have going on there is top tier. So if you want to join us there, we have over 2,000 members. We'd love to have you in there. We talk about flipping, money making all the time in there, and, good to see you guys in there as well. We have Snack Food OSRS popping in as well. He says, yo, good to see you, Snack Food, man. Thank you for tuning in today. Hopefully you're feeling better, Snack Food. Oh my gosh, I was a little bit worried about you here and there, man. Lots of Elysian flips, and the recent increase was mad. Dude, the Elysian Spirit Shield price run was like the most insane RuneScape price run I've ever seen in my life. It was top tier. It was great to see that happen, to be quite honest. But anyway, let's go ahead and try to get another item here. We do have 392 million GP, so maybe we run the Ancestral Rope Top. We'll give this a rip, see if we can get a good margin on this today. Hopefully something good, man. We've been struggling with this Twisted Bow. It would be nice to get a little bit of GP in another area, and it does look like the Ancestral Rope Top is going to come through for us in that spot alone. So let me go ahead and list a couple of the Ancestral Rope Tops here. We've got about 4 of them listed. It's going to run us about 250 mil, and we'll let that do its thing. Kosef TV bringing up a great point. He says there are thousands of T-bows in game right now, and it's held a 1 bill plus price. It's not going to drop long term. It's definitely one of the most sought after items. So I mean, I don't know if it's, you know, it could definitely have fluctuations of, you know, 200 mil up or down, but it's definitely one of those like essential items that almost every RuneScape player is chasing after. It's that twisted bow. It's not even the scythe, man. It's that twisted bow. Everybody wants it. Blink King says, so I made the investment to force myself to play and also to stop bank standing 24/7 merging. Blink, man, I feel you, dude. I feel you. You're probably so tempted just to sell that thing and keep flipping. I mean, you should really try to enjoy the game first. Like, I find that if people don't really enjoy the core of RuneScape, then they're not really, like, flipping's not going to make a big difference. I mean, if anything, it's going to burn you out. The only reason I think I love flipping so much is my channel is kind of, like, so dedicated to flipping and teaching you guys how to make money, and that's what I love about it. I mean, I also love flipping, but I think that's what keeps me going for the most part. Like, I don't really think I've played the actual game of RuneScape in over a year. Like, legitimately. Which, to some of you guys might be crazy. Dragon says, will the flipping list be updated? If someone sends me items, I'll update it, but I currently have some other projects going on right now regarding flipping content, so I probably won't update the list unless someone gives me another list that I can add to it. But we do have a free flipping list in our Discord group that you guys can use. If you're trying to find some items to flip, then I think that list will help you guys out a lot, especially if you're starting out and you just need some basic stuff, some basic ideas. That is the best place. But of course, I do always recommend that you build your own flipping list when you are flipping. It's super, super important. It's because the thing with a flipping list is, like, it's going to keep your sessions very efficient, right? You're going to get to the Grand Exchange, you're going to know what to flip, you're going to keep flipping that stuff, and it's going to keep you very profitable. It's going to really increase your profit per hour, for sure. Dragon says, forgive me for my English. At school, I had German, which I don't know either. Dragon, your English is good, man. It really is. STW Benny says, when I first started playing RS, I thought the Twisted Bow was like a god item and only 10 people had them. I could see how if you first started playing, how it would feel that way, for sure. I mean, it's so rare to begin with. Although maybe not as rare anymore, because there's quite a lot of them, but... Anyway, our flips are looking not too great today. They're not bad, but we're not really making a good profit per hour, mostly led by the problems we're having with this Twisted Bow. I mean, if you think, like, this session would be a 5 mil plus session if we were able to trade this Twisted Bow back and forth a few times. Unfortunately, we're probably going to settle this thing for a loss of probably 500, 600k plus. I will leave it for like an hour after the stream to see if it sells off, but I have a feeling we're not going to get that kind of luck. Kosef TV says, it's easy to forget. Any gear item that holds a steady price over time is actually increasing in adoption, because if adoption stays level, more supply entering the game will cause the price to drop. That's actually a good point. But another thing that maybe is being overlooked in that is like inflation of GP. Like as time goes on, you know, the Twisted Bow is worth less, or no, sorry, your GP is worth less. So in theory, the Twisted Bow should go up more in price, right? So maybe those are counteracting each other. Because, like, if you have 100 mil now, and then next year the total supply of currency goes from, like, 50 trillion to 60 trillion, your 100 mil's worth a little bit less. Paradox17 with the follow over on Twitch. Thank you, Paradox, for joining us here today on our flipping live stream. Hopefully you have been enjoying it. Be sure to ask any questions you might have about flipping or money making in old school RuneScape. We are here to help you guys out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Saturdays at 12 p.m. Trio Zero says, if there was a major bot wipe, then it should go up, plus the combat rework. Exactly, and the nice thing about the combat rework for the Twisted Bow specifically is that it wasn't really affected very much. I mean, they took the prayer bonus off of it, but I mean, who used the prayer bonus on the Twisted Bow anyway? It wasn't essential, and it didn't really have a big impact on the damage of the bow. Sitting back, kicking back, waiting for these flips to go through. Fingers crossed on that twist thing now, then we will take about like a 350k loss on the bow. Not something I really want to do on stream, as it kind of hurts my pride a little bit, but I will definitely give it a little bit of a knockdown here again. Gonna lock us in at about a 550k loss, and it still will not be selling. So we could be looking at a mil loss on the Twisted Bow potentially, but I have a feeling that it will swing in our favor. I'm just being a little bit impatient with it, as I really wanted to flip one today on stream, but we messed up the buy price. And the bad thing about it is we didn't instantly buy the Twisted Bow, right? We put it in and then it bought after like 10 seconds, which means someone could have upsold us a lot on the Twisted Bow, almost upwards of $1 million. So not knowing where that price was trading around really hurt us in the long run on this one. But hey, that's flipping for you. That does happen sometimes. And we're definitely going to try to make it back with a couple of Twisted Bow flips later. We'll see if it works in our favor. Rave Mike says, LOL, totally forgot I got a free subscription to you here. Rave Mike, man, good to see you. I'm glad you got a free one. I think someone must have dropped some gifted subs in the chat, but that was a couple streams back. So enjoy your free sub, man. Welcome to the Twitch stream, and I know the Twitch stream needs a few upgrades, okay? I do understand that. I'm just not really good on the Twitch platform as much as I am on the YouTube platform, so apologies on that. Kosif TV says, gold inflation is far less of a problem than item inflation. There are plenty of massive gold sinks. There are no item sinks for T-bows, Ellies, and Scythes. It's a very good point. A very good point. And that's actually been something I've advocated. That was like my 6th video on YouTube, I'm pretty sure, was like why RuneScape needs item sinks. And it's a shame we still don't have them. Oh, there we go. Trio Zero with the subscription. Thank you so much, Trio, man. I really do appreciate that, dude. Wow, we don't see subscriptions that often because, you know, the Twitch platform for us is a little bit less popular. So, Trio, man, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Welcome to the flipping team here over on Old School RuneScape. And hopefully you've been enjoying your time so far. It seems like you have with the subscription. And thanks for joining us, man. Trio, I do recommend joining us on Discord as well. You can do that with the link in the description below or the panel down below, whatever you prefer. And thank you for joining with the subscription, man. It means a lot. Kosik TV says, it's why invention was actually the best update in history. Old School's first skill needs to be invention, to be honest. I don't even know what invention is, to be quite honest, but I think it's like you can break down items and use the ingredients to like craft other things. That's as far as I understand it. Let's see here. We do have a little bit of GP left, but I think we are going to wrap up the session here today, guys. We have been live for about an hour, which is the typical length of our flipping sessions, guys. But anyway, a couple last comments here. We have Rave Mike saying, honestly, it's fine. Only thing I would change is maybe some more options for channel points and some emotes like a cash stack or something. Exactly. That's what I need to get on the emotes for that. I might go ahead and get some professionally done. I don't really know what I'm going to do about that. Probably because a lot of the money I get, you know, from viewers or just from like ad revenue on YouTube, I have reinvested into the channel. That's why we have this awesome mic. I mean, basically this mic is because we did the 24-hour flipping live stream, okay? Which was freaking insane. I mean, I really want to do another one of those this year, guys, around my birthday again, right? So I think we will do that. But regardless, I mean, this microphone and the whole audio setup is like from that stream, which is crazy. So I like to reinvest back into you guys. That's why we have the sticker design as well. And I just think it makes for a better viewing experience and a better experience for the channel all around. But anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it up here today. 2.2 mil profit. Decent session today. We did have a couple lucky trades there in the beginning, which really rocketed us into a profitable zone. But we did also sink into a 1 mil hole in the beginning from margin checks, right? So nothing crazy on that one. We did make it back in flying colors, though, which is great. Another, you know, this session would have been really good, actually, but we could not get a Twisted Bow traded, and we're currently looking at about a 500k plus loss on the Twisted Bow at its current price level, which is not great. But anyway, one thing I wanted to start doing on the live streams, guys, is at the end I do like kind of a recap of what went well and what didn't. So this session, like I said, I think it went pretty well. We didn't have a lot of competition on our items, which was great. We didn't have to relist a lot of items that much, which is a massive plus when it comes to flipping, especially on these live streams. You know, we're not having great success on the Ancestral Robe Top here or the Robe Bottom. We are making a little bit of profit, but nothing crazy. The biggest problem today was definitely the Twisted Bow not coming through for us. So we're going to have to smash the Twisted Bow on Friday. I'm not letting it get away from me like that, guys. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy the live stream, please drop a like. Seriously, it helps me out a ton. I am back from my little break, so I'm here to bring you guys a bunch more streams, okay? So thank you guys for tuning in today. Do appreciate it. Drop a like if you enjoyed. And by the way, you can join us in our clan chat if you'd like at Scapenomics in game, just like my Twitch and YouTube name. If you'd like to, chat with us in game, talk about flipping in game, join us in the clan chat, Scapenomics. We'd love to have you in there, as well as in our Discord group. Link in the description below for that, or in the panel below. And I think I'm scaring everyone away now. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in today, and I'll see you all in the next one.